Good morning, everybody. Good morning. The morning show continues here on Love FM and Love Television, and we'll be joined via Zoom. Our guests are Sherry Gibbs, Dean of Faculty of Arts, Science and Technology at Galen University, and Dene Swayze, Environmental Science Program Coordinator at Galen. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Morning.
Good morning, my dear. And who do I have there on Zoom?
That would be me.
You're
Denise
Dene?
Swayze. I'm the Environmental Science Program
Right,
Coordinator for
Dene
Galen
Swayze.
University.
Right. Well, welcome to the morning show on this Tuesday morning. Where are you right now?
I am actually in beautiful Belmopan, to be quite honest,
Oh,
heading up to our Central Farm campus a bit later today.
you're in Belmopan. What's the weather like? Is
Yes.
it chilly there? It was chilly here in Belize City.
I think it's fairly chilly, to be quite honest. I've been inside, so I can't really tell.
Okay.
It's
It was
cool.
nice and cool last night here in the city. Really was.
Here too.
Good morning. Is Sherry there also or there you are. Sherry, good morning. I'm not hearing you. You might be on mute. I'm not here. I'm not hearing you. Okay. While Sherry figures out her communication problem there, Dene, good morning. You're the Environmental Science Program Coordinator at Galen. What does that mean? What do you do?
So, being a program coordinator within the university, I kind of do a lot, mostly with our students, to be quite honest. Within the program, it involves development and continuous update of the program itself to make sure that it is relevant to the needs of our students and also to the general needs within the Belizean workforce. It also involves academic advising with my students. Luckily, being the environmental science program coordinator, I also get to head the environmental science club, and that's the non-academic portion of my job, whereby I liaise with students within the club for them to carry out a lot of activities within not just our Galen community, but the broader Belizean context. We do a few activities such as water testing. We've been looking a lot at replanting for the most part. We have developed a reforestation plot on on Galen University's campus in Central Farm, which is managed by our students within the ESCI program and more so the environmental club. We also are venturing into the areas of bird watching with our students, and all of these things are just to basically keep them involved, keep them engaged, and to have them do a lot more than just regular theory within the classroom, but for them to actually get the outdoor experience that they need to function within this field.
What 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 does it what would I be learning if I took the environmental program?
Is very robust, to be quite honest, and we have recently done a revamp of the program. And we've done that revamping bearing in mind the fact that our students need a broad set of skills in order for them to function within the workplace. So we have students that, for instance, eventually went to work at DOE. We have a couple working within marine reserves. We have those also working within terrestrial protected areas. And given that broad range, we've realized we kind of need to provide them with a large set of skills in order for them to be um, successful in their careers. So what we have done and what we're incorporating within the program is basically all of that. So we have terrestrial components. So we look at field studies. We also look at ecology of a tropical forest, which is where we're located within this region. We also have them look at water as well, because that's a key component. So within that, we have a hydrogeology course. We have geology courses as well at Galen University. We've recently piloted last year, and we might have a second cohort or at least a second running of that course, a new climate change class at Galen. This course came out of us cooperating with the Ministry of Economic Development for the national adaptation plans for Belize, also through our cooperation with the National Climate Change Office as well. And all of these things have enabled us to develop a climate change specific course for Galen University that we now offer to our students. And that's a great course. It's a bit much in terms of the content because it's one short course during one of our spring semesters. So we have tried to get as much as we can for students to understand what's happening within the climate change field in Belize and more so globally. So
Sherry,
those are a few of the courses that we have at the university.
is Sherry making contact now?
Hello?
Hello there. Good
Testing.
morning. Good
Hi,
morning.
Sherry. We can hear you
Hi.
now.
Yes, hearing you. Yes,
Thanks.
hearing you.
So sorry. Hi, Ernesto. Hi, everyone.
Good morning to you. And where are you? Where are you speaking to us from?
No? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sherry.
Okay, I was asking you, where are you right now?
I don't know if Ernesto can.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me? We're having some communication problems with Sherry. All right, back to you, Danae. Meanwhile, we hear the word, we hear people talk about
I don't
environment
know.
all the time, and it's become a buzzword. You know, save the environment, take care of the environment. In fact, my previous guests are persons who are involved in protecting our environment. How would you
Can you hear
describe
anything?
or define the environment to a layperson?
Sorry, Ernesto, we're unable to hear on this end.
Oh, we can't hear you. I mean, you're not
I
hearing
can
me.
see that you're speaking, but I can't hear.
Okay. Or MCO is looking into that right now. But we're we are making, well, we are trying to make contact here with Sherry Gibbs, Dean of Faculty of Arts, Science and Technology at Galen University, and of course Danae
Morning.
Swayze. You hear me now? Are you hearing
Yeah.
me? You
Can
hear
you hear
me?
me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yay. All
Okay,
right.
great,
Excellent.
great,
Yeah.
great. All right, I
Sorry
was
about that. Thanks so much.
I had a question for Danae, but we can put that aside for a moment. Now that I have you on, Sherry. You're as Dean of Faculty of
Sure.
Arts, Science and Technology. Why is it important to have an environmental science program at Galen?
I think it's super important, considering all that's happening with our environment and has been happening with our environment, and understanding the impacts that we have had on it, understanding the changes. Um, Sustainable development is a really important part of Galen University. Um, and while recognizing that environment isn't the only pillar of sustainable development, but when you look around Belize and we see all of the development that's happening, and the impacts that it has on our environment, on communities, I think having a program in environmental science is really important so that we can understand those impacts, mitigate impacts that may have an adverse effect on some of the um, some of the areas within the country. You just had folks on talking about the reef, and we know how vital and how important that is, not just for the reef ecology and the reef environment, but also the impact that it can have on us. So if our environment isn't healthy, then we're not going to be healthy. And I think it's really important for our young people to understand and appreciate that, and be able to educate them on that and get them out there and see what they can do to help ensure that our environment is going to be there for all of those next generations.
Is this a part of a bigger science program I can take at Galen, or is it can be a course on its own, a degree on its own?
Yeah, so it's a degree that students can come in and take, and it falls under that faculty of art, science, and technology. The other science that we have is computer science. So when students want to come in for science, they might ask about biology and chemistry. We have just the environmental science program. So we take the bios and the chem students, and we're really mixing all of those sciences up. Um, into environmental science. So students out there who are studying biology really like bio and chem, but maybe aren't so sure what they want to do. And maybe the idea is that, you know, you'll just end up in a lab. Well, you can take that knowledge and focus it towards our environment and the various aspects and the various areas and ecosystems that we have here. So Danae had mentioned water, water testing, making sure our creeks and rivers and streams are healthy. And if they're not, understanding why, and where the source of the unhealthiness might be coming from.
Is this at several levels, like certificate level, associates level, bachelor's level?
Yeah, it's a bachelor's level, but we do have a couple other programs at the university where we have minors, so like a concentration that's embedded into those majors. So if you're wanting to do anthropology, you can do a minor in environmental science, which I think is a really great match, especially considering that right now we know that it's people that are impacting our environment. So being able to have that anthropological perspective and then combine that with environmental science, I think is a really fantastic combination. You can be majoring in business administration and decide to do a minor or a concentration in environmental science, which again is also a really great mix.
Would they complement each other?
Yeah, very much so.
What's the career opportunity like as far as you see it?
Pass this one over to Danae because she's been interacting more with our students and getting them involved in internships.
All right. Welcome back, Danae.
Hi, sorry about the audio issues earlier. So we have our students basically being able to incorporate into many fields in country, and we do have students who as well further their studies. In terms of the career opportunities, we've had students who, as I mentioned earlier, work within our terrestrial protected areas. So we have one of our students working specifically at the Lee's Cars, and we have a great partnership with them as well. So they're partnering with us currently, just during this week actually, to complete a water quality testing at Galen University, just small scale within our little creek that we for certain want to protect and conserve. We also have our students who work within government ministries. So currently we have 2 of our students working at the Department of Environment. We also had a past student that might have been before my time who worked at the Protected Areas Conservation Trust. We had students working within the Coastal Zone Management Authority and Institute. Currently, we have 2 of our students actually working within marine protected areas. So it's a broad range of areas and ministries and as well departments that our students are equipped to work within following their Galen education. And as a part of that, we've also instituted internships now within the program to make our students a lot more robust than just that theory component. We currently have 2 students engaged under internships, one of them working within the National Climate Change Office, and she has been given excellent opportunities there. And we also have another student working with an international NGO, Waterways, and completing their internship actually in the next month or 2. So there's a broad range of areas.
I had asked you a question before we had our communication issues. I was saying that we talk and we use the word environmental and environment sometimes loosely. We mention it all the time. It's a buzzword. How would you describe or how would you define environment to a layperson and make them understand that we are an integral part of the conversation?
So that's an easy one, and it's actually one of the questions and one of the thought processes that I go through with all of students, not just the ESCI students, but also the Sustainable Development students at Galen University. So I tell them to go outside and look at the world around you. Okay? Look at the trees, look at the birds, look at the grass even growing on the ground, the spiders that we don't like, the geckos, um, scorpions, snakes, everything that is basically moving, fluttering around you, everything that has life, that has color, that brings some sort of peace to you. That's your environment.
But why
And the
should I?
reality is,
Why should
sorry,
I?
go ahead.
Yeah, why should I study that? I mean, I see a scorpion, I'll scrunch it and get rid of it. It's dangerous.
Well, it is to us, but it serves a unique purpose within the
Mm,
environment.
mm,
Each and every species that we have on this planet contributes to biodiversity. They occupy a unique niche. They carry out a specific function for having our environment, every single thing work the way it should. In the absence of one of those species and one not being able to replace that key species with something else, we might have um, the loss of one particular ecosystem. And we go through all of this when we're speaking about sustainable development with our students. As Sharon mentioned, it's one of those things, it's just one single pillar. The environment is one single pillar. But having our students understand that it's the interrelation between these four pillars that make and enable us to survive on this planet is what's important. So the reality is we depend on the environment and the environment depends on us. So every single action that we have, every single thing that we do on the daily, I mean, even turning on the lights, having that water run while you're brushing your teeth, all of these things have implications on you. So I try to stress the fact that we are just one single species on this larger planet, one compared to the millions that we have, the billion other species that we have, and the fact that we can basically be the make or break for our ecosystems. So that's one of the things that we stress. I want my students and more so everybody at Galen to understand that we have a larger purpose on this planet, and it is essentially for environmental protection, both terrestrial and marine.
You know, Sherry had mentioned that you could be doing a business administration degree and do a minor in environmental science. Link those two for me.
To be quite honest, Ernesto, everything that we do in country when it comes to environmental management has a business component.
That's
And
right.
we have students that, although they love the business area, they also love that environmental aspect. And it's hard for some people to choose. And more so when you get into these varying organizations, whether they're NGOs or whether they are government entities, you need to be able to understand the business component, which of course provides you with the financing and the management aspect of managing your, for instance, protected areas, managing our ecosystems. But you also need to understand the environmental component. Why are you doing it?
That's
So
right.
essentially the question that you're asking, why protect the environment? Why be engaged in environmental protection, conservation? That understanding and that appreciation has to be there, to be quite honest, to enable you as a person going into that workplace to function effectively.
I just looked up when she said that. I did a quick little research here, and the range is quite large. You even talk about like political, environmental politics. You know, you have urban planning, law, all these careers can have a would look
Yes,
better if you show up for a job and you say, I also have a minor in environmental studies, wouldn't it?
yes, it would.
Okay.
And some people may want to venture in. Maybe they have a business idea that maybe they want to get into the recycling industry. Maybe they want to create an environmentally friendly product because of their passion for the environment and wanting to protect it. But you know, they need to have that business know-how, and so
That's
that
right.
could be a really great
That's right.
combination as well.
Yes. So it does complement anyone. Like Denise says, that affects our life on a daily basis. So no matter what we do, we are part of the environment. Are you preparing for a cohort? Are you looking for applicants? Are applicants welcome at this time?
Yeah, yep, we're always ready. Go ahead, Denise.
Yes, I was just about to say that we're always looking for a new cohort. We're always looking for students entering our program. We are, as many persons who have come on from Galen before, we're very student-centered. So of lately, we've been working with many of our students, including those students that are working professionals, and have them be incorporated into the program and enable them to get a Galen education at their pace. This involves a hybrid take on the program itself. So having a few courses be online, a few courses be face-to-face, just to accommodate our professionals. We're also looking for new cohorts in varying areas, and we forgot to mention this a tad bit, but we're also in the process of developing a new diploma course at the university, and it will be specifically for climate change. And through this specific diploma course, we will of course try to reach out to those working professionals that want to get a bit more in that area of climate change. Perhaps they just want to understand a key component of it. We're aiming to incorporate research within that area so that it's applicable to them actually being within the workforce. So we are always looking for a new cohort, and we're also always trying to keep up to date with what is the needs or what are the needs for specific persons within the LEAs.
Well, thank you very much for coming in. Well, joining me this morning via Zoom. Anything we left out that you'd like to mention?
I'll just jump in and let everybody know that if they're interested in our environmental science program or any of the programs, to get in touch with us. There's still lots of time to apply. They can easily get in touch with Danae or myself through the website. I think we're pretty accessible now, and we'd be more than happy to meet with anybody with their questions. We can do online meetings. We'd also invite you onto our campus to meet with us. And try to encourage you and get you to start with our fall intake in September.
Sherry Gibbs, Dean, Faculty of Art, Science and Technology at Galen, and of course Danae Swayze, who's the Environmental Science Program Coordinator at Galen. Ladies, thank you very much for joining us and, of course, educating us. Folks, we'll be back after the break with Business Perspective here on The Morning Show.